Hello and welcome to Marketing Solutions for Local Law Firms, the podcast that provides you with all the latest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. If you are looking to substantially increase your caseload in the next 6 months, this is the podcast for you. And now, here's the host of our show, the local business guy himself, Frank Deming.
Hello, everyone. This is Frank Deming, the local business guy. Welcome to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Law Firms. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, everyone. I hope you guys are having a rockin' week thus far. Also, hope that you guys, if you do celebrate Christmas, that is, hope you guys had a good Christmas. We just completed Christmas this week. Hope you guys had some ample time to spend with your family. It's always important to do that, especially in the holidays. I happen to enjoy all of it. You know, Thanksgiving happens to be my favorite holiday. But Christmas is a very, very, very close second. Because it's, I don't know how you guys are. I mean, most of my family members are, afar. So, I always take the opportunity to embrace the time that I do have with them because, again, we don't get a chance to see each other all that often. So when I do, I try to make the best of it. So anyway, just wanted to wish you guys, I hope you guys had a great Christmas with your family. I hope you guys spent, some quality time with your loved ones, et cetera, et cetera. And, coming next week is the new year, believe it or not. And today is the last episode of 2023, season 4, and season 5 starts next week. So what I wanted to do today, I don't want to get into anything too heavy since this is the last episode of the season. But yeah, so what I want to talk to you about today is basically a year in review. Let's do that. A year in review. We had a really, really good year. Thanks to you guys, really, for sharing this content with others. I've seen a definite growth in downloads, so really, really thankful for that. Speaking of Thanksgiving, so really thankful for you guys doing that for me, and I will hope you guys can continue doing that as long as I bring you good content. Because the only reason why you're sharing it is because maybe you think it's good content, and maybe you think it's helping people and helping yourself. So that's a good thing. So I wish for more of that. So thank you for that. So Meet the Attorney was a hit. It was the first year since I've been doing this podcast. I've been doing this podcast now. Let's see. I've been doing it. This is the 4th season. So yeah. So 4 years. And it's the first time I had a full year of Meet the Attorney. It was a hit. Most of the Meet the Attorney episodes, really got a lot of attention, got a lot of downloads. And I actually heard from other attorneys saying that they, got, I don't know if they got business from it, but they got a lot of leads and listens and say, hey, I heard you on this podcast, Marketing Solutions for Local Law Firms, recently, yada, yada, yada. So that's good. So, I mean, hopefully that'll down the road will turn into business, but that's good exposure for the attorney. So for you who have gotten on the show during this last year, again, I thank you very much, because it again, it's a win-win. I get the content, you guys get the exposure, and everybody's happy. What else happened this year? Oh, we rebranded. We rebranded the podcast show this year. We went from Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses to Marketing Solutions for Local Law Firms, which is a lot more appropriate. Why? Because we cater to content for you, the attorney. So, that in the beginning, it was a little bit of a tough switch when I made the switch. Only because I lost some audience, but then I started gaining more of the audience that I was seeking to serve anyway. So it was a win-win at the end. I mean, and it was only from what I can tell from the data that I saw, it was only about a 6-week, if I'm being honest, 7 weeks, so almost 2 months of a lag in terms of performance and downloads. But then it started picking up to where it was prior to the switch. And again, that's all thanks to you guys. Let's see what else. As always, we had Laura Shipman on for the state of social media. First half, second half, we're going to do that again next year, 2024, season 5. And hopefully you guys will get a lot out of that as well. Those always happen to be one of the mostly downloaded episodes. It's historically the social media, the state of the social media always get a lot of attention. Because it's a hot topic, a lot of people want to know about social media. One of the things that I'm looking forward to doing next year. Before I talk about next year, let's continue recapping what happened this past year. So we talked about the change we already talked about the change. We talked about the Meet the Attorney series. I'm going to continue doing that. Another thing that I noticed got a lot of attention on our downloads this past season were anything related to like AI, related to content, related to that kind of topic seemed to have gotten a lot of attention. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch over to what I'm moving forward to in 2024, season 5, is provide a little bit more of that, because it seems like you guys really reacted to it. So I'm going to give you a little bit more of what you reacted to. And also another thing that I noticed is whenever I had like obscure content, like for instance, one of the Meet the Attorneys, I had a guy who did like corporate law, like something that I normally don't do, because I normally focus on local law firms, like real estate attorneys, tax attorneys, anyone who's a local person to you, like a divorce attorneys. But when I talked about franchisees and I talked about, the corporate law, that got a lot of attention. So I am going to look for a little bit more of that, because it seems like a lot of people were into that a lot. So if you are listening to the show right now, you're looking to be a part of Meet the Attorney next year, and you're not just a local law firm, give us a call, 888-416-7752, or send us an email at podcast@lbmsllc.com. We'd love to have you on the show. I mean, and so see if we're a fit, and if there's anything that we can help you with in terms of getting the word out about what you happen to do. Another thing I want to do next year is interview more newer attorneys, an attorney that's just branching out on his own or her own, and want to start their own, hang their shingle and start their own law firm. I would love to give you the exposure that I think that will help you, or what have you. That's something I want to do. I want to talk a little bit more about solo practitioners as well. And of course, I'm going to continue on the topic of lead generation, because lead generation really is the heart and soul of your law practice. And that's, we're trying to bring a lot of innovative lead generation types of content for a lot of you guys. So you could, try it on yourself, or if you're having a hard time doing that, maybe reach out to us, or if you have a agency in mind that you want to reach out to, that's fine too. But I want to talk a little bit about that as well this coming season. And I think that's it. I think that's all I want to do. But I think this was a great year. Definitely the most downloads I've ever had since I've started doing this. And that should go without saying, because usually the more you do podcasts, the more you downloads you're gonna get, because you gotta stay consistent. And I've stayed pretty consistent these last 4 years, and I know, and I intend to continue doing so. These podcasts are a lot of fun. I like to bring it to you guys as much as I can, and give you relevant content that is going to work for you and your firm. Let's see what else. That's about it. Another thing that I want to do next year, I almost forgot about this. I was looking at my notes and I saw that I forgot to tell you this, is I'm going to bring on some more guests as well. That of course, I'm going to continue to meet the attorney, but I also want to bring on guests that talk also about content marketing, lead generation marketing, Google AdWords, SEO, et cetera, and so that way you can hear it from another person outside of myself, of what other agencies are doing and whatever. That's kind of fun doing that as well. So be on the lookout for that coming next year as well. And that's about it for this episode, guys. I know this is a short episode. It's the last one of the year, and I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for a wonderful season 4. Thanks for the shares. Thanks for the downloads. Thanks for the mentions on social media. I really, really appreciate it. I would love get more interaction. So maybe there's some comments on a YouTube channel that you want to make. That's fine. Or interaction via email. Send an email to podcast@lbmsllc.com. That will be great. Coming next year as well from you guys. That's what I really would want. I want this show to be, now the next stage, I think, is more of an interactive show. And I understand right now it's a monologue. But it's still going to be a monologue, but at least I can get some comments from you. And then I can bring that off in the next show. So if there's a show that I have, and, I talked about some obscure new tactic or whatever, and you have questions about it and you want it aired on the show, I can answer those questions on the show the next episode. And as long as I have your permission to use your name and the firm you're with or whatever, and say, yeah, so-and-so from whatever country, county or city, however, is asking about XYZ. Here's your answer. If you have more questions about it, let me know, and yada, yada, yada. I would love an interactive, show like that in 2024, season 5 of Marketing Solutions for Local Law Firms. Let me know how you feel about that. So let's start the interaction now. I know it's not 2024 yet, but hey, let's start it. What do you feel about more interaction? Not an interactive show per se. It's going to be, of course, a monologue, of course, like this all the time. But how do you feel about participating a little bit more coming next year and just, getting some questions in there for us? You just email it again, podcast@lbmsllc.com. Once you email it to that, we will read your question and then give you the answer right there. And if you want to remain anonymous, just say anonymous, and we won't say who it is. But if you want to give us your name, give us your name and permission to do that, and we'll do that. I think that will be the next evolution. I really would like to do that. But before I do it, what's your feedback on it? So let's start now. What's your feedback on that? I am going to wait until the last episode in January to see the results, what it is. And if I get a positive result, I will start implementing it from February on. How's that? Anyway, with that, folks, I wish you guys a happy new year coming up. Happy and safe new year. What are you guys doing? Anything fun? Are you hanging out with family? Or are you just chilling at home? Me, per se, for New Year's, I relax, kick back, look at what I did the past year, what I want to do better the next coming year. And I reflect on that the whole last week. Like right after Christmas, I start, like for instance, I'm doing that this week. So all this week, all I've been doing is reflecting, and then planning on what I want to do better next year. And then on the 1st of January, I just sit back with my girlfriend. We just relax a little bit and then start on the 2nd a brand new year. That's been our ritual for the past few years, and that's going to be the same for us. What do you guys do? How do you guys bring in the new year? Do you guys party hardy outside all the time, or you just spending at home quietly, reminiscing? Also, leave comments on that as well. Would love to know. Podcast at lbmsllc.com. So with that, folks, I wish you guys nothing but the best. This has been Frank Deming, the local business guy. I see you guys next week. I see you guys next year. Until then, take care and bye for now. Peace out! Happy New Year, everyone.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Law Firms, the podcast that provides you with all the latest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. If you would like to know more about the topic we discussed on the show today, reach out to Frank and his team at 888-416-7752 and schedule a discovery call with one of the marketing consultants. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, send an email to podcast@lbmsllc.com and we will put you on the schedule. With that being said, until next week, make it a successful digital marketing day. Peace out.